I don't believe that Chris Greer is going to pick up all of these draft picks and then trade them all away for one guy. I just don't believe that. Think about this. There is talk that maybe there's 4 to 5 tackles. Okay? Let's have a little fun with this. Let's say you trade all your first round picks for Joe Burrow. Okay, so then when are you going to get your tackle? In the second round? So Joe Burrow gets killed just like Peyton Manning? Is that what we're going to do? I mean, Peyton Manning, I'm sorry. Andrew Luck? Is that what you're going to do? No, man.
Right team, wrong guy.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, come on, man. No. You don't want to do that. Let's load up this team. That's what I want to see. That's what I think makes a ton of sense right now. Load up this roster. I mean, you saw it right. You saw last year they won 5 games with a bare minimum roster and a journeyman quarterback. Now you look at the additions in free agency, and if you have a great draft where you add several pieces, you're going to make some leaps and bounds in this division. A lot faster than I expected. Because I told you guys, years 3, maybe probably more like 4 into the playoffs. Who knows? Years 2 and 3 now you could be in the playoffs. Especially since they added a 7th team now, make it a little easier to get in. That actually might fast-track the whole thing for the Dolphins.
You know what's crazy? We had a horrible rush defense. We had absolutely no secondary.
None.
And we won 5 of our last 9. How?
Now you're going to have 2 lockdown corners.
We didn't have Preston Williams. We didn't have Preston Williams. And Parker was missing for a few of those games, remember? And he decided to come back.
Yeah.
So look, how did we win those games?
No, Parker didn't miss a couple games. He came right back the following week.
It was right back?
Right back the following week.
I remember.
He caught 2 touchdowns that
we were at
week.
Doral. We were at the Doral animal shelter.
Yes.
When we were talking about should he even bother coming back. I remember that.
Yep. I look forward to going back there, too. We haven't been to the Doral Animal Shelter in a while. Let's see. Yo, Wendy Torres, that's how you win games, period. History shows us. Why? Like I told you yesterday, they won a Super Bowl here with Bob Greasy throwing 6 passes. Bob Greasy threw 6 passes. Peyton Manning couldn't throw 1. And both won Super Bowls.
4 of them were to Hall of Famer Paul Warfield, though.
Yeah. Helps. Big time. Man of 1,005 holds agree. Why trade up and minus yourself? Build a team. You can load on a QB at any time. You know, all right, let's get into something else that I find really interesting. Can I throw this out there for you guys? Okay? First of all, can anybody give you 45 minutes of Dolphins talk already like we have anywhere? Even if those 2 stations were on, could they do what we just did? No. All right, so let's just have some fun with this. It's the off season, and the coronavirus is going on. Who says you can't talk sports? Who says you can't have some fun with this? Of course we can. All right, so now, you guys know what I'm talking about now, that don't reach for the quarterback, don't be irresponsible, load up the freaking team. Correct? You're with me on this. All right, you're following me on this. So if you don't think Tua's going to be there, you're not convinced with Herbert, you're not getting Joe Burrow, that's just stupidity, okay? So you're at 5. You got a shot at getting a hell of a lineman that you can add for the next 10 to 15 years, okay? A hell of a defensive tackle that, let me tell you, you get Brown and you put him next to Wilkins, and you got Godchow there too. Man, I'm just loving life, dude. Okay? So, follow me on this, all right? Because you're going to freak out early on me right now, okay? You know you got Fitzpatrick. You know you got Rosen. Now, you didn't take a quarterback at 5. Love left at 10, 12, 14 before your 18th pick. Couldn't get Jordan Love either, all right? Follow me on this scenario. So now you're loading up on a D lineman, on an O lineman, on a running back. You're getting another corner. You're getting a center. You're loading up in all these places that you need. Follow me. You signed Jameis Winston. Yeah. He's the most talented quarterback that's available. He's a top 10 talent-wise quarterback in the NFL. He knows Fitzpatrick. They work together, okay? He comes in. You tell him, hey, Jameis, we want to bring you in. We want to teach you the system. We want you to get comfortable. We want you to get to know the fellas. We want you to compete. It's not your job. It's Fitzpatrick's job. If you become ready to compete and take over, we'll put you in that spot. Are you better off just loading up this football team in all those places and try to resurrect the career of Jameis Winston? I'm not done yet. Now you're in the thirds and fourth rounds and the fifth rounds. That's where you take Anthony Gordon out of Washington State. That's where you take Nate Stanley out of Iowa. That's where you take the Davidson kid out of Princeton. That's where you take the Morgan kid out of FIU. Take a project. I know it's a fourth quarterback. I get it. You don't have 53 guys that you have to keep on your roster. Or it's 55 now. You don't have that many. You can keep the extra quarterback. Okay? And then you bring in Winston, and you have him earn his way, where in practice he's not throwing interceptions, where in practice he's running your scout team, which would make your defense a little better that you got Jameis Winston running your scout team, because you got a better quarterback running your scout team. You know, and then now that he's been humbled this way, he has an opportunity to kind of work his way up to that position. And you can teach him. He can be disciplined. It will also, light an even bigger fire in Rosen's ass. And you don't know what you're going to get out of Rosen either. And this way, a little more time. And if somehow or another you get Jameis Winston to cut, you got yourself a productive quarterback. And if he doesn't, you're not paying him a lot of money, then you cut him and you move on. Because there's not going to be a signing bonus. There's not going to be a long-term commitment. It'll probably be a 2-year deal where he has an opportunity to grow and improve himself, and then you keep him around. And if not, you let him go. And you lose nothing cap-wise. You lose nothing draft-wise. All that equity that you collected, you still have it. Can you imagine if you load up this football team with those draft picks in the next 2 years and you sign Jameis Winston and he becomes a player for you and you never had to draft your franchise quarterback? Why not?
You didn't have to
chance?
give up nothing.
Nothing.
It's just take him off, like Preston Williams, off the street. Nothing.
Nothing. Not even money. Because if he balls out, the second year's on a bonus.
Incentive laden, right?
Yeah.
Give him targets to hit.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you cut him in half, like you're talking about 5,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 15 interceptions.
It's not great. 2 for 1 is all right.
Yeah, you'd
want it even better than that, but it's a huge start.
It's a step in the right direction.
That's what I'm saying. You got to be in that mode if you're the Dolphins. You can't be in the desperation mode where you're just going to give up the house just because you're dying for that quarterback. We're all dying for that quarterback. Every one of us. We all want that quarterback. I get it, man. I totally understand it. Makes all the sense in the world. But we got to do it the right way. You can't be desperate about it. You got to give yourself an opportunity to grow the entire football team. And like I told you yesterday, it's been proven over time that there are moments where Ryan Tannehill, he's nothing special, and you got to an AFC Championship game. because you had a running game, an offensive line, and a defense. You won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning, and he could barely throw for 5 yards. Brad Johnson won with a dominant defense. That's how it goes. Trent Dilfer won. I mean, so guys have won it all. And guys have gone really deep, like Rex Grossman to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? And Nick Foles is just a Jag. Literally, he was a Jag too. And he won a Super Bowl. So you don't, we cannot watch them give away the house. And I'm pretty sure that what you're hearing from media members is not what the Dolphins are thinking. They're thinking more along the lines of what I've told you. Okay? They're thinking more along the lines that we need to build a deep football team. We're going to make the job of the quarterback that it's not going to be that hard for him in order to win. All he has to do is make some plays, and the rest of the team will take over. Now, if you find that amazing stud, well, that's great. That's a bonus for you. But don't give away all the draft capital you have just amassed. That doesn't make any sense to me.
I'm sitting here thinking about it, and listen, we were on a minimum 2 to 3 year plan, right?
Yeah, of course.
Because of us going 5-4, it, like, you know what I mean? You start you start accelerating your
microwave
expectations.
society, baby.
Right?
Yes. You're 1,000% right. That's what happens. It's a microwave society, and now we want to speed up the process, but I don't think the process is already sped up for us as it is. Because, see, last year they found a couple gems. They cleared out all that cap space, and they built up all that draft equity. Now, I think they were phenomenal in free agency. Now you go out and knock it out of the park with the draft, and we're going to feel really good about the Dolphins. Think about this. Ladies and gentlemen, how we feel now about the Dolphins compared to where we were at the beginning of last year, I mean, it's night and day already. Because now you see it. But let's not hurry up the process, and let's not trip up on ourselves and make brutal mistakes that could set you back. Stay the course. Build up the talent base instead of giving it away for something that you don't even know is going to be a hit or not. Joe Burrow could be the same thing as Baker Mayfield, man. Same thing. And he comes in, lights it up, and then the second year gets exposed and struggles.
That would follow Trubisky.
Right.
He looked good at first, and since,
Yep.